Last week, we told you how the Wuhan virus may have damaged your lungs forever. We told you about the destructive long COVID. Turns out it's more destructive than that. It's not just impacted our lungs, but also our minds. So if you thought COVID-19 is a thing of the past, you are wrong. I hate to say this, but COVID is not gone, not at all. In fact, its impact continues to be felt in multiple ways. Let me tell you what a study has found. The details are scary to say the least, so brace yourselves. Because these are not just words, findings, text on paper. This is what long COVID is doing to you, to your mind, to your brain, to your body. The new study suggesting that long COVID may lead to measurable cognitive decline. Basically, the findings gave us numerical evidence for the issues that plague many people with long COVID, like brain fog, also memory issues, focus problems. Brain fog, basically referring to lack of focus and mental clarity, confusion. So those with long COVID have measurable memory and cognitive deficits. You know what that's equivalent to? A difference of about 6 IQ points. Let me say that again, 6 IQ points. Basically, the findings tell us about the cognitive impairment in long COVID survivors. This is extremely significant. By now, you either already know what long COVID is, or maybe, unfortunately, you are dealing with it yourself. And for those of you who might not be aware, in some cases, those who have been infected with the Wuhan virus can experience long-term effects as a result of the infection. And these are known as long COVID or post-COVID conditions, or even long-haul COVID. So just to put this simply, long-term effects of COVID. Long COVID is used to describe symptoms or conditions that persist or develop after the infection. Let me just tell you more about the study. What did it find? How was it conducted? Cognitive testing of nearly 113,000 people in England was carried out. They completed an online cognitive assessment during the last 5 months of 2022. This online cognitive test, the tests basically were designed to test aspects of brain function, including memory, attention, even reasoning. And those patients with unresolved symptoms that had persisted for more than 12 weeks were found to have a larger deficit equivalent to 6 IQ points. In fact, the 228 participants in the study who spent time in intensive care units scored the equivalent of 9 IQ points lower as compared to people who had not been infected. The study was published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Now, what's the difference of 6 IQ points all about? What does it mean? The result does not mean that having COVID-19 or long COVID resulted in profound deficits in thinking and function. Just for context, a score of 85 to 115 means average intelligence. Around 15 points is the standard variation. So 6 points basically might not be significant or sound crucial enough, but these findings are still extremely important. In fact, according to a psychiatrist and researcher quoted by The Guardian, even if the cognitive deficits after COVID-19 are of small magnitude on average, a substantial minority of people have more significant deficits, which are likely to affect their ability to work and function. And given the scale of the pandemic and the number of people impacted, this is particularly worrisome. But it's not all scary and gloomy. There is hope. A positive signal, in fact, was that brain fog and other long COVID cognitive problems do not have to be permanent. Those who had longer lasting symptoms that had resolved showed comparable deficits to those who had experienced mild, short duration illness. And what this study also suggests is that if people's long COVID symptoms reduce, so will the related cognitive impairment. Basically, those who witnessed long COVID symptoms for months and then ultimately recovered had cognitive scores similar to those who had a quick recovery. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.